Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing today a recap of Don't Flop's incredible North East South free event in Birmingham. It just happened last night. We're recording this the afternoon after. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. Unfortunately, there were a few cancellations, but that really didn't seem to have any effect, to be honest. There were some fantastic battles. I'm joined as well by a good friend of the show, Sam Wiles. Sam, how's it going, man?
Hey man, what's up? I'm actually pretty buzzing. It was my first ever battle rap event yesterday, and it sold it to me. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched 6 battle rap videos. All Marlow Shuffle T. Obviously, we're gonna get onto their performance later, but yeah, I get it now.
Okay, good man.
Good. I'm not saying I get the online video addiction element of it as much, but as in doing like, you know, I go to this thing like once every couple of months or every few weeks. Yeah, definitely, it's really fun.
It was a great event for you to have your debut at as well.
Obviously, just a bit of context. Obviously, you're going to talk about the main event. Before I got there, obviously I was a little bit later. But were there kind of less professional battles earlier on?
Well,
because it was quite high quality for me.
It was high quality. Yeah, I mean we'll get to that. Just before we jump in. Sorry, I know you're not a professional co-host like John Whitmore and Ryan Morgan. It's okay, Sam. You know we can get you in towards the end. But before we get there, please just dig my knife in there. At Battle Rap Resume on the Twitter, if you'd like to follow us, to keep up to date with the show. If you'd like to help the show in any way, please subscribe to us on YouTube, on iTunes. Please go back through the archives. Lots of great episodes. Please leave us a comment. Please like videos. But the 2 greatest things you could do, really, really appreciate either of these, especially number 1, please leave a review on iTunes. That really, really helps. We've got like 20 or so reviews on there, so go check the reviews out if you haven't seen them anyway. Leave us 5 stars, leave a review. Greatly, greatly appreciated. And if you want to give back as well, patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume. I met a few people yesterday at North East South that are given to the Patreon, and that was great to give them thanks in person. But yeah, if you'd like to help the show, go on there. What I ask for really as a base level is £1 a month or $1.50 as Patreon does it over there, and that gives you access to pretty much all the exclusive content that I put on there on the Patreon, either preview content of upcoming videos or episodes, or just general chats and stuff like that. For $5, you can get access to 2 Battle Resume episodes. I often record these months before they go up there, so you can get your pick of those as well. So go on to patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume. But yeah, let's get into this North East South. So it was the Birmingham event, but obviously it wasn't technically in Birmingham. I mean, you may have told from my my affliction here, I'm a Brummie, born and bred, so it was very, very exciting. I wasn't into Don't Flop at the Birmingham kind of time. Maybe I was just getting into that, but yeah, awesome that they came back, and I think the crowd were very, very appreciative of that. It was a fully packed room full of really eager fans. But as I got to the Hare Hounds, which is one of those venues that you get there. You didn't realise I'd been there before. I'd actually seen the Aristocrats. I don't know if you were the Aristocrats, Sam, the sort of noodly guitar trio. I don't know if we've played them for you.
No. You've introduced me to the Dirty Three, and maybe it's in that kind of vein.
Yeah, Dirty Three are more kind of like it's a violinist and a drummer sort of thing. But yeah, they're similar. I've been to this venue before. Saw the Aristocrats, incredible Guthrie Govan led instrumental trio, brilliant sort of. Sorry,
very nice pub. Yes, good.
It was, wasn't it? It was kind of like a sort of traditional British pub with a kind of traditional British venue on top. It wasn't too trendy, but it had its affectations.
It was very spacious up to a point, but there was a lot of kind of like, you know, shuffling in halls and spillages and stuff like that. And like, oh mate, elbows, watch it, yeah.
Yeah, I had that. I had like a sort of one of those encounters where I think we were all piling in for dialect arguments or something. And, you know, my thing about these events is if you stand near a door and you want to not move and watch the battle, that's fine. But you can't complain if someone nudges you. You just you forfeit that right. And
there were a lot of like audible like ergs, weren't there? It's like,
yeah, there were. And I was like, you know, I was trying to get into this room and everyone's pushing in behind me with dialect arguments. I accidentally kind of nudged slightly into a girl. It's not like I bulldoze into or something. And some like little guy puts his arm around. He's like, "Watch it, mate," and trying to like protect her and stuff. And I just
do they not know who you are? For a start,
I was like, Jesus Christ. Podbean.com/, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was a bit shocked actually. I'll get it out the way as well because, you know, obviously I was swarmed, no doubt. Someone thought a battle was going on when I entered the room. It was mad. But no, when we went through the cloakroom and you had to give across your e-ticket or whatever, I passed it to the guy. I don't know why I'm admitting this, but fuck it. No secrets here. And I gave it to the guy. And the guy was like, "Oh, Tom Quee." what, from Battle Rap Resume? And I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, oh, I listened to the show, man. And I was like, oh shit, thanks. So thank you so much for that as well. And another guy recognised my voice and like just came up to me and started talking.
Did anyone buy you booze this time?
No one did. No one did. Though.
No free beer.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone. You know, Linda especially. Met up with, you know, I saw her previously at 8th birthday, and that was a great conversation as well. And just I mean, the events are really nice. I know you were kind of newbie there. You didn't necessarily have any faces other than battlers that you might know. But what did you feel of the atmosphere? I kind of want to gauge your perspective this whole kind of episode as someone who's never been to an event. I mean,
well,
you know.
Yeah, you know, the kind of the air was quite electric immediately. There was anticipation. I came in halfway through a battle, so it was kind of great just to be thrown in the deep end, as it were. I was with hecklers sometimes. I was with drunk guys who were just shouting bullshit sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of people who were just going, you know, like a lot of good grunts and stuff. I felt the crowd energy dip massively when Raptor did his sort of like grime set.
It did, yeah. It's just, I mean, these always happen at these battle rap events where either to fill time or just as a necessary release to be promoed, they'll throw on a track and they'll do their verse over it. And there was just, I mean, it's nothing personal to whoever's performing on the stage, but there is all this kind of, this isn't as good as listen to it live. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just a bit sort of, can we get bars now? Or...
There was like a big lanky guy behind me who was kind of like a metrosexual Thor,
right.
And like he just kind of like shouted like, "I didn't pay to see this grime crap," and he was just like, shouting, just heckling, man.
Yeah. There was a lot of heckling actually in after the sort of kerfuffle I had with that lame guy's girlfriend at the start of Dialect Dogness. I moved to the back, I learnt my place, and there was, I don't know if you heard this guy, I don't know where you were at this point, there was this drunk off his half imbecile, after every bar he'd shout, what does he mean? What does he mean? And he's just like, shut the fuck up.
Did he have like a cap and like a scraggly beard?
What do you think? Yeah.
I think someone else was like starting on him to make him calm down.
Like, I couldn't stand his behaviour, it was so bad. Like, I was at that point, like, I was absolutely, you know, just monged by halfway towards the end of the night. I was just, you know, just really out of it sort of thing, just really docile. And like, I think if I was more sober and driven, I would have said something. And I'm not sort of making excuses, I'm not really a confrontational guy or anything, but you just sort of let it happen. But I was thinking back yesterday, why did I let that guy shout that for like 20 minutes in my fucking ear? Like, you know, but regardless, let's get on to the battles. We're trying to build a mental picture for you here, but you know, I'm sure what people listen to. So yeah, I was there with two other friends, Ryan and Danny. Danny, who designed Battle Resume logo, has been on the show numerous times, great friend of the show. So we got there quite early, went downstairs, and in customary fashion, really, to pass the time, we started playing a little wordplay card game that we've all been obsessed with recently. Yeah. It's called Punderdome. Definitely check it out. I mean, we always do these sort of pun games in ourselves, but it gives you sort of categories through cards. You know, like Star Wars and marriage, or, you know what I mean, babies and cooking, and we just sort of came up with puns for an hour before it began. And as this was going down, I did notice at the corner of my eye, was speaking to a guy, a fan in a wheelchair, and it seemed quite a serious sort of discussion. And from what I gauged, the guy couldn't gain access or something like that. All bar staff came over, and it was a really great shame, actually. You know, I could tell
they were very steep stairs, like horrendously steep, wet, slippery stairs.
And was there no lift?
No,
there wasn't once there. No, which is, I mean, shame on Hare Hounds, really. It's crazy that wasn't accommodating in that sense. From what I seen, did seem really accommodating, though, on the ulterior, like he was giving him lots of merchandise and stuff like that. It was being really, really nice. I don't know what I said. But the reason I bring it up was because there's a lot of people who were at the event may realise that when the event actually started, when we got in the room and people started to collect, gave his little introduction, you know, welcome us all there. And he said it was starting off on a bit of a bum note, you know, partly because he was so upset about having to turn a fan away, which, you know, as a league owner, I completely understand is a great shame. Hopefully that'll be rectified in the future. Another reason that seemed to be in slightly lower spirits, although as I said it didn't really affect it, was that there was going to be cancellations. We already knew about 2 cancellations going into this event. The third cancellation came through an email that Don't Flop sent out, and I read this just before I went into the venue. I'll just read it out now. It kind of, you know, wraps up what was said. He says, the email says hi, which is quite interesting, Sam. I don't know if you realise this. Don't Flop normally starts his emails with yo. So there was a slightly kind of demure approach here. Hi, is with deepest regret, the email says is with deepest regret that I have to inform you of 3 cancelled battles on today's lineup. We have Briggsy versus Danny Jack, which unfortunately got cancelled because Briggsy is hospitalised. I wish him all the best. Hope that battle can be done soon. I think I heard whispers in the crowd that battle is going to be done at Checkpoint Pre-Party, which kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things, if you know where the calendar's going. O'Shea versus Yunnan. Great shame that didn't go down. That would have been especially effective in yesterday's room, but I think Yunnan couldn't see it, whatever. And Raptor versus Gemini. Which was the real biggest shame, Gemini fan especially. And I saw just before we went online doing this, Raptor was kind of on Viewpoint making out that sort of, it wasn't necessarily that he's not sure what's happened. Him and Gem are on personal terms. Gem hasn't reached out to him and let him know. So I don't really know what's going on with that one. It's a great shame. Apparently Raptor also said that he's not on that battle anymore. There's going to be something else, which, I mean, God, we need this rematch and it would have been great there. But look, we can't speak of this, but I just want to draw people's attention to, if you have been to North v South, as I did yesterday, there's quite a few kind of benefits that the email lays out, which are very, very useful. So as an apology to all our fans, these are the offers for the ticket holders that are offered. We're going to get free pay-per-view for the next 24 hours instead of discounting, which is a crazy thing. So anyone that went to the event get that. Also, of course, if you didn't go to the event, buy the pay-per-view. It's going to be incredible. 25% off Checkpoint 4 tickets prior to release. 10% off Checkpoint 4 pay-per-view. If you choose to go to the event, that'll get even higher. This is only on the day. It's a contextual one. The merch at the event was 50% off from 2 till 4, and discount entries from the battle are rearranged the future. So, Don't Flop and always brilliant about the quality control. Always well about kind of reducing the damage and stuff like that. It is a massive shame that these 3 battles didn't go down, but regardless, Sam, all 5 battles were pretty. I mean, I know you didn't see all 5, but the battles that you see are pretty awesome, right?
I think I saw 4 in total.
Did you see? Was it Heretic Soweto you saw first?
So I came in and it was the one before Scoop.
Yes, Heretic and Soweto. Heretic.
Oh no, so no, the one before that then.
Tongue Twister versus Jay Dillon.
Yes, okay. I thought Tongue Twister was very fun. Immediately in the room, he kind of seemed to have the crowd more from where I was standing. Kind of like very tepid in terms of compared to everything else that was coming along that evening. But the crowd seemed to be enjoying it. But the night just got better from there. Really.
Yeah. I mean,
there were lots of characters for a new guy like me to kind of fall in love with instantly.
It's true, actually. It was populated with some of the best names in Don't Flop, definitely. It was an awesome card. These 3 matches will hopefully go down in the future, although I don't know if Gemini Raptor will actually go down. I do hope it will do. But regardless, I mean, Jay Dillon, Tongue Twister was a really, really fun battle to kick off. I watched this one with good friend of the show, Crafty, actually. We're having a little chat towards the back of this one, catch stuff. And was surprised, actually. I thought Jay Dillon did Jay Dillon, and, he can come up with those kind of flips that those kind of wordplay puns that, a granddad would be proud to groan at, really kind of original searching stuff. But Tongue Twister was hilarious for me in this battle. Yeah. He really had a commanding presence. I don't know if you remember his second that was kind of basically all about Jay Dillon's teeth. He had like this really long section about Jay Dillon.
That was a mass. That was about 3 minutes of just about a gap in the teeth. Like the teeth don't like each other. They were separated.
They have their own molar system, I think he was saying. There was some great stuff there, and Jay Dillon as well went for a bit of a theme round. He's normally a one-liner go, and he kind of kept that, but within the paradigm of sort of Tongue Twister working in an office and the kind of 9 to 5, the dialectic opposites there. That was quite a fun bit before him. I think Tongue won it, and I think most people in the room were kind of agreeing. This was a kind of North v South thing as well, so victories are a little bit more important on those regional respects. But what about yourself? Do you think Tongue Twister took this, or?
I think he had personality, and the other guy did have a big gap in his teeth. So I was like, damn, very accurate. He just didn't seem to say anything worth really getting behind. I was just a bit like, oh, okay, he's just seemingly the opponent for this guy to win this battle for.
Wow, is that okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw him later, and I was like, good performance. Obviously, he'd spent a lot of time writing it and stuff, but it didn't connect with me. Maybe it was just because I got there and I liked Tongue Twister. So.
Yeah, no, they are quite separate styles. And I mean, the main criticism of again, I appreciate a lot of these people are new to you, but the main criticism of Jay Dillon is it's kind of that same style over and over. Like it's the witty puns, but it's not as many punches per se. Not as getting into the skin. But what I loved about being in this event is the crowd was huge. Like, it was a loud, aggressive crowd. It's one of the best crowds I've ever been in, really.
It was big, it was diverse. There was lots of different types of people there.
There was lots of girls there, which you rarely see at a Don't Flop event.
Do you reckon that's because it's Birmingham, or it's just a lot of girlfriends?
Yeah, well, I mean, a mix. What do you mean, Birmingham? What? There's more girls in Birmingham on average, is there?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Women and canals, yes.
Women and canals, yeah. And talking of canals, we'll get from canal to canal. Who's a great friend of the show. It was awesome to see. Saw Canal there. He was.
Was he the pissed guy you were chatting to in the crowd for ages? He had like a backpack on.
Yes, that was Canal. Yeah.
Yeah. He just put his arm around me, and like I just felt accosted. I was like, "Oh, you're right, mate." Just like, yeah.
No. Canal. I mean, he loves his.
He was great. I loved him.
He loves his ingredients,
fun,
but yeah, no, he's a really good dude. Yeah, really good to see Canal as well, having a good chat before the battle. And he actually shouted something just before Heretic versus Soweto kicked off, quite loudly, but he got a great reaction around as he shouted, "This is the poshest battle with a non-white person in it."
He did. It was funny.
And he did get this little bloom of laughter around him. And yeah, we get to Heretic versus Soweto Kinch, which is an interesting battle. Not only because I don't know if you're aware of it. Well, why would you be aware of this, Sam? But we did the preview of this with Ewan, and in the battle, I think I may claim, maybe a little too harsh on my part. I am a big Heretic fan, but I may claim where bread was buttered. I'm a Soweto guy. I fucking adore this guy. I think he's a real talent. And I said Heretic's main weapon is sarcasm, and I was like, how can you sort of clown on Soweto? He is a man of integrity. And I think, to be fair, Heretic actually defied me and did it very, very well here. But Heretic did like a status about it on Viewpoint, said that he was going to cancel his Patreon subscription because of what I've said and all this kind of shit. So I was definitely listening intently to this one. And it, great build up, but I think Heretic won it. Don't get me wrong, I love Soweto, I love his florid nature, but Heretic was so strict and precise. And like his first was just haymaker after haymaker, like the crowd adored him. Probably one of his strongest performance I've seen. I think he was excellent.
I thought Heretic he took a lot of punches, and you're like, "Oh God, how is he going to recover? Like, how's he going to come back from this?" And every time, just totally dismantled and just dismembered. Was it Soweto? How do you say it?
Soweto Kinch.
Just like edit out. And Soweto Kinch he did seem to like kind of have a bit more crowd control, and a bit more of the room seemed to like back his bars. That maybe if Heretic had said it just wouldn't have landed. But I think Heretic he just showed that he just had the better writing that night, and that's what took him through easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some hilarious exchanges here. I mean, I can't kind of remember this all to head, but I remember Heretic.
How many did you tweet then?
I tweeted a little bit. Yeah, I was tweeting. I think I said this before. Like, it's really hard to tweet and watch battles, and by the time we got to the later battles, I was too fucked up / just couldn't care. And I'm pretty sure Kraft and Heretic did the battlerapp.com Twitter feeds. Definitely check that out. They did a great job there. But yeah, it's just kind of hard to keep it going. But there was some awesome stuff in this. So I think originally Heretic sort of said that Soweto was kind of, old and black and successful or something. It reminded him of his dad or something like this. And then Soweto sort of flipped it with like your dad's the only black friend you have. And all
that was
kind
very
of stuff.
Funny. That got a massive laugh.
Yeah, that got a huge laugh. And then he had also another line that I appreciated as a sort of voyeurist on the Academy Awards. He says, "You're an embarrassing white climb down, a La La Land acceptance speech."
Yes, it was quite on the nose for me, but yeah, it was all right.
No, it was nice. It was nice.
Didn't he call like Heretic like a Chinese woman or something?
He said,
weirdly?
yeah. This Chinese lady isn't my daughter, I think he said, or something like that. So yeah, Heretic reminds Soweto Kinch of Mylene Class, which was quite interesting as well. I think Heretic said a great one-off. He said like, "I'm full of cheek, like Dizzy Gillespie." The famous jazz instrumentalist. So that was fucking excellent. I mean, Heretic did some impressions as well. Strong Assassination. I'm gonna have to rewatch this one really. Quite a long battle. I think on Soweto's part, especially, he just has that within his arsenal. You can string a few ideas together. He can just go and go and go. I mean, the guy is. I'm always at pains to say he's a Mercury Prize nominated musician, which is, I mean, that is just incredible accolade that he's achieved. Mm-hmm. I think he was also a saxophonist for Gareth Gates.
Oh, you said
so. So yeah, there's a variety on that palette there. But yeah, this was 2 of 2, another really, really good battle. I think most people in the room were saying Heretic. I'd probably say Heretic as well. I need to kind of remember exactly the lines. I did remember Heretic had this excellent multi-scheme that ended with Trevor McDonald, like calling Soweto Trevor McDonald, which again was awesome. But yeah, I mean nonetheless brilliant.
It was both the the most kind of like politically charged
yeah.
of the battles, kind of like, you know, discussing what it means to be black and a rapper and stuff, and you know, it's kind of like, ooh, you know, ooh, digs, but it was also kind of like the most at that point, at least for me, I thought, okay, this is probably going to be the most meta of the battles as well, but obviously the final one obviously just deconstructed what battle rap was for me entirely. So.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll get to the shuffle performance, Jesus Christ. But it was nice as well where, you know, we had like from about 2 till 8 was the sort of running time. I think it ended just before 9, maybe something like that. Yeah. We had that sort of rough running time. And because there were only 5 battles rather than 8, there was never 2 consecutive battles. There was sort of battle break sort of thing, which is kind of nice language outside the day. So we had these 2 opening battles, and I think there was our first proper elongated aperture. And we got back to Scoop versus Tox. Sam, how was this for you?
Scoop, man, I fell in love because I don't know about you, but for me personally, I like my rappers to have a real sense of danger, and he really sold me as a character. I thought, this is someone I can get behind. I immediately thought of people like Biggie and Patrice O'Neal, and I just thought, this is a guy who has this stage presence that I thought immediately was so full of life and character and like a 3-dimensionalness that I thought, right, I know that no matter what the other guy says, I'm completely behind Scoop constantly. He was so funny, and like, it was really like effortless. And like, you know, I'm sure it was very practiced and written, but a lot of it just seemed like it was just coming up with it on the spot, and there was a great vibe. It was a fantastic battle for me.
It was fantastic, actually. You know, a lot of people had sort of called me out. I think a lot of people had called me out, but I had said on the podcast that I thought Scoop would win 3-0. I still think he did. Really, I thought Tox did well, but I don't know if you felt this, but Tox. The crowd were a bit tame in most of the rounds. Like, yeah, the occasional haymaker, but it just kind of, it's building and you're listening. It's kind of like when a little kid's telling you a story and you have to be interested, and then it sort of ends with nothing and you're sort of like, okay. Like, it never sort of had that explosive, where Scoop could like turn on a phrase.
A big problem with Tox was, like, I think like the thing he escalated up to, like, you know, kind of like getting into like the heavy talk was like where Scoop started, like in his first, and like Scoop's first was just an unbelievable blitz, and I just felt like Tox was playing catch up from then on. Really, what I will say though, Tox does have a very strong sort of, I'm taking a verbal bashing, face down, cap down face.
Yeah, he does.
He was very intimidating. Yeah. He stood firm. But yeah, it was a great battle, a great back and forth. But I was just with Scoop 24/7 really.
Yeah. And then there was sort of a third round about the merits of eating ass, which, I mean, is something that kind of needs to be debated out there, I suppose. So that was interesting. Yeah,
I think Tox got a girl's number for that night for some ass.
Right. Shit, yeah. And it was a fun battle. It was a really fun battle. I think the crowd, as ever, was really attentive and really kind of going forward with this. Next battle, really awesome battle. This one as well. I came in slightly late to this. I think I only saw half of it, but this was Ogmios versus Dialect, Sam.
I was mostly in the corridor for this one because I needed to take a piss, and there was a guy taking the most horrible shit in the toilet, so I just had to wait. Right. And I didn't hear much of it, if I'm honest. So you might have to take this one. Sorry, Og. We're not going to get much coverage for you here, mate.
No, there was some dope stuff from Ogmios here. He had sort of like very Ogmiosy sort of stuff. My wordplay, stay cold like poetry fridge magnets. Was quite nice, and it's a contradiction if he tries to say that Og's a moron. So that was, you know, there was some really elegant, dainty stuff from Ogmios that I really liked. I thought Dialect rose to the challenge as well, had some awesome stuff throughout his. This isn't one that I can remember too well, I'm afraid, as well. I don't want to give a uneven interpretation of this battle. You know, this was the time as well when that guy was in the back saying, "What do you mean?" Oh God, that fucking.
Right.
Okay. So that was kind of drawing my attention a little way, but by all accounts, it was an excellent battle. I'm sure it was too. I'm gonna have to watch that one back. But yeah, no, the response seemed terrific as ever. But we get to our top of the card: Shufflo versus P Soldier and Matter. Shuffle T's first round, Shuffle T and Marlowe's first round in this was absolutely extraordinary. Like, I never knew I wanted it as much as I did when they started. They started so meta, as you said. They sort of explained that we've been away, you know, since 2014, really, in terms of a proper match. Dialect and Zen, which when you think about it, bloody hell, was that long ago? But yeah, it really was. And they sort of put it in this thing of them being offered all this sort of stuff and then doing the gimmicks and sort of, I think, so, you know, it got to the point where, you know, Shuffle T saying to Marlowe, like, who are we actually going to face? And he's like, oh, Peace Soldier and Matt. And he's like, oh, go get the Oreos then. Which I thought, like, I don't know if you were aware, rehearsed back to an old gimmick battle that they did and stuff like that. But there was a moment when they just, I mean, they just kept doing commanding because P and Matt went first and had quite a good first round. But they, you know, like, just the intensity that they shared on this first round was so good, Shufflo. And they had this moment where they just turned to each other and goes like, I guess it's time we save battle rap again, and they like hugged each other, and I felt like I was watching like a rogue.
The crowd went insane.
Yeah, it felt so good.
It was like the Harlem Shake went down. It was crazy.
I know. It felt like I watched a goal in like a World Cup final or something. Like, I brought tears to my eyes when they said that. Like, time to save battle rap, because you're like, they're the fucking greatest. Like Don't Flop has been blessed from above with Shuffle T and Marlowe.
It was like Shakespearean rap. It was
just incredible. But they went into like a trap sequence, and they went into these long unfolding multis, and they really just put on a clinic. Like, Peace Soldier and Matt were fine.
Of the opposing team and like pretended to be them. Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah. You know, their discipline, their rehearsal was just, oh my god, yeah. Yeah, they were so good. And like, you know, their first bar, they start off with Shut Up, Dialect and Zen, which again was a callback, which is really, really nice. They just alternate in between every word, and they had that sort of really funny angle about how busy they've been. What do you know about being fairly busy? Like, you know, and just kind of their life commitment slightly getting in the way of things. But I mean, you know, a good battle. I mean, a great battle on both sides. But I don't think P or Matter took a round, to be honest.
It was very much like Scoop v Tox, really. Once Marlowe and Shuffle T had their round, everything that the other guys did just felt like it was playing catch up, and they could never seem to top anything. It was admirable, but then their shtick kind of looked more forced as well, and it just wasn't sold, and the crowd was kind of sold from the first moment, really. Marlon and Shuffle T's first round, it was decided then and there easily.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Actually, their first round was incendiary. Like, it seemed like we've been building for two years since their last performance, and what a fucking I mean, we don't need to see them for another year after this. They just really gave it all. But all in all, it was a fucking incredible event, Sam. I mean, sum it up for me, like your first ever Don't Flop event.
You know. It was fun. It was full of surprises, like Ur's waistline. I was pretty shocked at that. I thought he was like a skinny handsome guy, man. I followed him on Instagram, and he was kind of David Brent-esque when I saw him, which was pointed out. He was called like Man Tits or something.
Oh yeah. What was that battle? Someone said and Kruger are fat. Was that Peace Soldier and Matt? Someone in a battle called them out, didn't they?
Yes. But yeah, I was very happy to see that kind of crowd that I like to be in, and there was a little bit of faffing. The organisation was a little bit awry in spaces. I don't know if that's the same for every event. Obviously, you only see the well edited battles online. You don't see the kind of shuffling and to and fro of people and like, oh, excuse me, can I get in? And like, someone burst in behind us at one point and like made like a loud joke or gestation, and I threw something, and like people were laughing, and a lot of talking as well at times. But you know, besides that, it was just a very good live rap event, and I didn't think I'd you know, not to play, you know, to play too much against type or anything. I wouldn't say it's the go-to thing that I thought I'd have fun, and I really did. It sold me well, you know, as like, you know, a live demo. Of what this stuff is.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think
I'm subbed, you know.
Yeah. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Like, I always point to, there was an event about a year ago, so most people will be aware, Don't Flop 6.5 birthday, where the card was really good. It was in Leeds, but the venue is like distractingly hollow. like it's like a half crowd, and you can just notice it in every battle. Whereas I think all of these battles are going to come out so well because it was to the rafters, like it was bulging. As you say, it was difficult to get around because there was so many people, and to be fair, not really. There was like one awkward corridor to get down, so it wasn't sort of to evacuate. It wouldn't have been easy, but there was just this sense of adrenaline throughout that was capped off with a fucking 5-star Shovel T and Marlowe performance. Definitely the highlight for me.
I was hypnotized, man. Yeah. It was pure theatre. It was like they must have done this 100 times before.
Yeah, they're so well rehearsed. But then it never feels staged either. You know, even though it clearly, you know, every movement is kind of predetermined. But it just they have that elegance, that deftness. But
I wish I'd gone to Bath. I wish I'd gone to Bath University.
Yeah, me too. Jesus Christ, something in the water there. Yeah. So we'll wrap up, Sam. You know, you did a long, unwieldy plug last time you were here for Soliloquy. So let's just cap it out at 20 seconds. What's your podcast? What is it about?
It's called Paul or Nothing. I interview people who. I'm going to redo that. Sorry, man.
Oh my god.
Okay. I host a podcast called Paul or Nothing. It's a Paul McCartney podcast where I review all of his albums and interview people who study him and or Paul McCartney authors, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fun. Check it out if you like Paul McCartney's music or Beatles. We do a lot of Beatle chat as well. It's called Paul or Nothing, and contact us at paulmccartneypod@gmail.com. Check it out. You might like it.
And Twitter, YouTube, how do people find you on that?
On YouTube, just type in Paul McCartney Podcast, and on Twitter, it's at McCartney Pod.
Yeah.
If you liked Down in the Hole, which was mine and Tom's old show, you'll kind of like this, but it's better. So
right, yeah, no, I think there's no arguing there, Sam. But it's been great to have you on, and I should say, if you listen to this,
always is,
yeah, always great to have you on. If you listen to this, please help support Don't Flop. It was an incredible event. There were brilliant battles. If you're going to buy one, buy Shovel T and Marlowe versus P Soldier and Matter. They were extraordinary there, but all the battles were really, really good. don'tflop.com/pay-per-view. We've got Checkpoint 4 coming out as well, so check that out. I'm sure the tickets are going on soon. Please follow the show at Battle Resume. Get in touch with me, battleresume@gmail.com. Please leave a review. Please support the show, patreon.com/battleresume. Anything like, exploring Don't Flop Extra, most disliked videos, they will go on there weeks, months before. So if you'd like to support the show, you'd like to get loads of extra content, patreon.com/battleresume. Thank you, Don't Flop, for another incredible event. And thank you, Sam, for joining me, man.
One last question, Tom.
Please.
What's the next event that I can go to?
The next event, that'll be Checkpoint 4 in London. That's what their big event that's going down. So yeah, that's going to be crazy. Respect BA versus Sirius Jones. I realise those names don't mean anything to you. Just got announced. That's going to be absolutely remarkable. Can't wait for that.
Crazy.
But yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe for yourself, Sam. Maybe the next event might be like a smaller room event. I'll let you know. But yeah, you're definitely going to go to more events. So that's really good to hear, man.
I can't wait, man. I really can't.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sam, take it easy, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. See you later, man.